Hi everyone, my name is Lola Afalabi. I am the founder of Healthy Credit Habits, and today is, you guessed it, Fix It Friday! Yay! I don't know if you're excited, but I'm excited. Today is Friday, the end of another week. Whether you ran across the finish line or if you were dragged across the finish line, the thing is, you made it. That's what counts. Earlier this week on my page, I talked about how if we were to apply $25, $50, $75 on top of our current student loan bill, how that could potentially help us in one or two ways. First, it would help with reducing the principal balance on our student loan. Secondly, it would reduce the amount of interest that we are paying on our student loan, which can save us a lot of money over the repayment period. By doing so, it definitely has its benefits where you can potentially shave off a significant number of months, if not years, off of the life of the loan. So if your loan, you were to have a 10-year repayment period, by applying additional money towards it, you could definitely shave it back by 8 years, 7 years. It really just depends on what your loan balance is and what your interest rate that you're paying. But either way, one thing is for certain, that you will shave off time from your repayment window. So definitely is something to think about. I also provided 2 links where you can go and check out how to calculate how much interest you would pay over time for your student loan debt. Definitely check those 2 links out. Put in the amount of your loan balance. Also include your interest rate. They'll ask you for certain information in order for them to come up with the proper calculation that fits your specific situation. But it's definitely worth looking into. I think that when you see the overall picture of your loan and how much interest you could pay over time, you're technically more inclined to be incentivized to put additional money there if you can, versus a frivolous spend where you can't necessarily account for where exactly your money went to. I thought it would be great to round out this week by sharing with you ways in which you can identify if you're dealing with a student loan repayment or debt relief scam company. A lot of individuals out here, consumers, every day they are looking for ways in which to, shave off of their debt, how to consolidate, ways in which they can reduce what they're paying, if not eliminate it, if they qualify. And there are companies out there that will prey on the unsuspecting, the uneducated, the uninformed consumer when it comes to student loans. So you definitely have to be careful. You definitely want to do your research. You just want to make sure that before you go down that path, that you understand what all the options are. And today I'd like to share with you 3 ways in which you can identify if you are potentially involved with a company that will scam you or they won't deliver on their promised results. So the first indicator would be that they're asking for payment up front. Any company that is asking you to make a payment for student loan, debt relief services up front, it's definitely scam. You want to bear in mind that of many factors, 2 things need to happen before you decide to pay a company for providing a service to you of sort. The first one being is that they were or have been able to successfully reach a revised settlement or repayment agreement with your servicer or the collector who would be receiving the funds for your outstanding debt obligation. Unless they have a revised term which would modify or change from what your original contract was with that servicer, you shouldn't pay someone for that work that has not been performed. In addition to that, you also don't want to pay in advance because you would want to make sure that you've made at least one payment to that servicer or collector at least one time prior to you submitting payment to the company. The reason being is you just want to make sure things are on the up and up, that the terms in the agreement that was signed off on, that everything is clear, it's dress right dress, that you're not putting yourself in a situation where you're being told one thing and then on the back end you have no documentation to support what you believed to have been the revised terms and payment arrangement agreement with the servicer. The second indicator is the fact that they are affiliated with the government. So you have a lot of companies out here that they will claim that they are affiliated, they are supported, they are endorsed. They're misrepresenting their association or affiliation with the government, the U.S. Department of Education. You have to be leery of those things. One recommendation is definitely, you know, if you see a company out there that is claiming to be endorsed and supported and promoted by, you know, an entity, you want to go and check on that entity's website. If that entity is reputable, now with the Department of Education, it is. And if you can't find their information where they're being referenced on that official site, then you should be concerned, because many companies out there, they prey on the trust that consumers have with established businesses and leverage that to say, hey, I can help you. If you trust this company, you can trust us too, because we are endorsed by them. So that's another indicator for you to think about. Last but not least, you have companies out here that will make false claims. And by false claims, I mean they have language in their marketing material that may say, we will fix your student loan debt now. You qualify or have been approved for a repayment or forgiveness program that you can sign up for. We will fix your student loan debt, if not eliminate it entirely in less than X time frame. You definitely want to be leery about these type of statements and things like that, the catchphrases that catch people and bring them in, and they're unsuspecting, they pay this money, they're thinking they're getting help and they're not. And at the end of the day, you end up losing not only the initial investment that you paid upfront for the services that weren't rendered, you also run the risk of impacting your credit score, because now you have you either have a new default or a continued default on your student loan, and you just have lost, you know, basically the sense of trust. Those are things that you want to think about when you're looking at companies, you're exploring those options. Is for one, they're asking for payment up front. For two, they are misrepresenting their affiliation or association with a reputable or an established company or business or entity such as the U.S. Department of Education. And number three, they are making false claims of being able to resolve, eliminate, reduce, remove your debt in partial or entirely. In addition to this video, I've also provided a list at the bottom of this post of those things that you need to be on the lookout for when it comes to looking at debt relief companies and how to spot a scam. So there's a more in-depth list within this post that you should definitely take a look at. And feel free to share with friends, family, anyone who you feel could definitely benefit from this information, because every day a new person, a new set of consumers are coming into the marketplace and they're looking for help and they're getting scammed. And it's unfortunate, because at the end of the day, some may not ever recoup the money that they've invested in this process because they didn't do all of their homework. So I definitely don't want that to happen to you. I hope that this information you found to be helpful. And definitely please feel free to, again, share. If you have any questions, if there's anything that I can do to perhaps navigate you through this process, because it can be cumbersome. There's so many nuances, there's so many, you know, corner cases and things like that. And there may be programs that you do qualify for that perhaps your servicer, they're not making you aware of. So you could be in a repayment plan that is necessarily making it tighter for you, and you qualify for other things that they may not necessarily offer, or they're telling you that, hey, we can put you in something better to kind of give you some leg room and improve your situation. This concludes happy Friday. I want to wish you all a happy Memorial weekend. Stay safe, have fun. I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care.